Yes, people, what's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video. And honestly, I just wanna say, guys, you guys can feel how you wanna feel. Personally, for me, I hope as a fan base we can come together and we can just understand that nothing's gonna be given to us. It's not gonna be easy. I thought personally myself it would be easy, but that was naive of me to think that way. And I'm just gonna sit here and say, guys, as a fan base, as an entire club, we should come together and we should work on trying to just focus on ourselves. Stop focusing on the outside noise. Stop focusing on rivals and their banter. Stop focusing on what Pep Guardiola says in his interviews, what other players say in their interviews, what all these other things that just don't mean nothing. Really and truly, we need to focus on ourselves. We need to focus on Arsenal. We need to focus on our individual goals. And people saying, "Iga, you look stressed." It's not about stressed. It's not about me being stressed. It's just really just the constant pressure that I'm feeling from rivals and the media and everything else. They all want us to fail. So why as a fan base am I going to sit here 4 points ahead in a better position than Manchester City, going to sit here all doom and gloom, all upset? Like, Arsenal still hold a 4 point lead over Manchester City. The title race is still in our hands. It's not in Man City's hands. We can still go on to win it. We're currently 14th of February. I thought we could potentially have ran away with it. I wanted us to run away with it. Right now, it just seems like every time we get a 7 point gap and we're trying to push it to a 9 point gap or more, we just keep getting, sorry, an 8 point gap or a 10 point gap. We just keep getting brought back. So remember, we still have the game versus Wolves coming up. Regardless what Man City do from now till then, they can't. They don't have a Premier League game. Our next game is before theirs. We will then put pressure on them by winning that game, hopefully. But yeah, honestly, some of the stuff that we see online and some of the stuff I've been seeing lately, it's just really got me irritated. And as a fan base, we need to come together. We need to stop focusing on others. We need to stop focusing on everything else. And I hope, and I think the players don't really hear the noise. They see it maybe on occasion, but they probably stay away from it. This right here is huge. Arsenal play Wolves on the 8th, on the 18th. What day is it? Arsenal play Wolves on the 18th. Yeah, the 18th of February, Arsenal play Wolves. We need to win this game. But before that, we also have the FA Cup game we're going to discuss. But we win this game, we're back to 7 points ahead. It goes from a 6 point gap to a 7 point gap, and then before Man City even plays. And then after that, we're going to see what the fixtures are. I'm pretty sure Man City play on the Saturday. Then we play versus Tottenham on the Sunday. So just need to keep winning our games, man. Stop focusing on other people. Stop focusing on other stuff. Because the moment you go on social media, it's all over social media. It's all over social media. It's all over my social media. The algorithm is fucked. Because you look at this, first thing you see, what is it? It's Arsenal's lead versus Man City. But Man City 4 points as rivals on clash online, and you're probably going to see my tweet as one of the first tweets. Then you go here. What's the next tweet? You see another one here. Arsenal hold 4 point lead over Man City, a tense title race. It is going to be a tense title race, and it could potentially be worse. Yes, look at this. We could potentially face them five more. We could face them 5 times. We could face them in the EFL Cup final. We could face them in the FA Cup quarterfinals. We could end up facing them in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and then we're also going to play them in the Premier League. So Arsenal and Man City are going to be sick of each other come the end of this friggin' thing. If we actually do end up facing each other 5 times, that will be nuts. I honestly don't want to face them in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup or the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I'd rather face any other team across Europe right now. I'm just sick and tired of seeing Man City's face on my screen. We're going to be in a title race with them regardless. We're going to have to face them in the League Cup final regardless. We're going to face them in the league regardless. If we can avoid them in the draw, that would be better for me personally than anything else. But yeah, that is that right there. Let me know what you guys think. 5 times in a single month. Is that a record? Like, have you ever heard of a team facing another team 5 times in a single month? I've not seen that before. I don't know about you guys. I personally have not seen that before. I've seen Barcelona versus Real Madrid face each other multiple times throughout a season, like quarterfinals, cups, all sorts of stuff. But I've not seen that. That is something else. Obviously, everyone's going to look at the Arsenal fixtures, compare them to the Manchester City fixtures, and we're going to do all of that. But one thing you guys still need to realize is we are in a better position than people say they are, and I do feel like they constantly are trying to downplay how good we've been or try to cause more controversy. Like, look at this. Man City went from a 9 point gap at 83 minutes at Anfield to a 4 point gap in 12 with 12 games to play. First of all, Man City were never 9 points behind because the game is not over until the game is over. So they're obviously just trying to egg you on. They're now counting points before the game has even ended. Now, I get it if you're going to be naive and you're going to count points before the game has even been started, but this is ridiculous. To say that 83 minutes this happened and then come on. Now we're just pushing it. And this is coming from mainstream media source too. These are the things that we're seeing from mainstream media sources. It's actually ridiculous. Then you have, you know what? We're not even going to get onto Tottenham fans. This one here, big up to Con. This is a good post right here from Con. He's talking about the fact that plenty of fans have not seen Arsenal win the league. Luckily for myself, I've seen Arsenal win the league several times. It's just I was quite young at that time. When it comes to himself, this is a great post. I get it. Plenty of you who follow me have never seen us win the league. It's never going to be a stroll. You can't win every game. We're in a great position. The team has grown mentally and shown in this season. Shown in this season. As fans, we need to do something. Sorry, what am I talking about? As fans, we need to do the same thing. There you go. Same thing. Where did I get something from? We need to do the same thing. Up the guns. Big up to him, man. Big up to him. Also, another thing, let's be 100% real. Every team that is talking shit about us would switch positions with us in a heartbeat. Every single one of them. Every single one of these teams would switch positions with us in a heartbeat. If you look at the Premier League table right now, if I pull up the Premier League table right now, you're telling me these people who are bantering us, Manchester United, they wouldn't switch positions and be in our position, 4 points ahead of the Premier League table right now? Chelsea, fighting for top five, they wouldn't want to be in our position right now, switch position with us and be top of the Premier League, challenging for the league right now? Of course they would. Liverpool, they went from winning the league last season to now sitting in sixth, trying to get back into Champions League football next season. You don't think they would want to be back ahead? They were ahead at one point by 5 points at the beginning of the season, and they then dropped off to a point where now they're 15 points behind us. You're telling me they wouldn't want to switch positions with us? For God's sakes, you're telling me Tottenham, who are sitting languishing in 16th, damn near in a relegation battle right now, they wouldn't want to switch positions with us? Get out of here, bro. The reality of the situation is 90% of the people who are trying to banter us would bite their arm off to be in the same position that we're in. And that is just the reality of the situation. But I don't know why people still act like they're on their high horse. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. Also, why are we bringing down our own players? Like, I get it. We had a bad performance versus Brentford, and certain individuals in the team are getting stick. Eze had a poor performance, but why are we all of a sudden acting like Eze didn't do anything all season? All of a sudden, because Eze had a couple of bad games, we're acting like, and he hasn't been playing much, we're acting like Eze hasn't done anything all season. Now, I get it. Eze needs to improve. I'm all here for criticism, but I'm seeing some stuff like, oh, he's useless, waste of a signing, blah, 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 blah. What are we doing here, guys? Let's not act like Eze wasn't a big part of some of our performances early in the season. The Man City game, for example, Nottingham Forest, for example, Crystal Palace, for example. He helped us win all those games. Plus, versus Bayern Munich, he made a big difference. I've seen performances from multiple players. Timber. I'm seeing people online selling out players and bashing them and going crazy. We got Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans going at Timber to a level where they're saying he's useless. Get rid of. What are we doing? Maybe I'm just seeing the worst side of Arsenal Twitter and Arsenal social media in general. But Timber has not been good attacking wise. Maybe Ben White should come in on more occasion. Ben White, if I'm not mistaken, he was on the bench versus Brentford. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he was on the bench. He could have came on and made a difference. Instead, he chose to keep Timber on, and took off Hincapié. Uh, I personally think Ben White should start, and if he has a good game versus Wigan, maybe he'll get more game time going forward. Ben White definitely offers us more attacking wise. The thing that frustrates me, is why is Timber in the attacking position and Saka's all the way on the wing? If you guys know what I'm talking about, remember the moment that we almost scored. The moment that we almost scored, we had Timber pass the ball to Martinelli. Why is Timber in that position and not Saka? Why? Why is Timber in the attacking positions and Saka isn't? Arteta needs to tweak this. We need Saka closer to goal. Why is Timber closer to goal? Why is Timber the person who's the closest to the net? In the Man United game, Timber's the one that's receiving the pass where the own goal happens for Lisandro Martinez. I don't know what kind of tactics we're running, but that needs to slightly improve. That needs to improve. I don't want Saka as a touchline winger and our best attacker all the way on the touchline when Timber should be closer to the touchline. Timber should be the one on the touchline and not Saka. Maybe his crossing is not good. I understand that. Then bring in Ben White. I personally, I'm not going to sit here and bash Timber. I'm looking at Arteta. I'm saying Arteta needs to improve the tactics there. That's where we need to improve our tactics. Tactics are a problem at times. When we look at the overall gameplay, we speak about set pieces. Guys, we have spoken about set pieces for a lot this season. But when this guy walked in the room, and he was drawing the ball, the Brentford guy, this guy is something else. This guy from Brentford, he is something else. Shout out to this guy. What's his name? Michael. How do you pronounce his name? What's his name? Michael Kayode. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but shout out to Michael, man. Michael, his long throws were so threatening. They had me on the edge of my seat. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This guy had us worried. Kayode. That's how you pronounce it. Kayode. Bro, this guy Kayode, unbelievable. The way he was getting those balls so far up into literally just basically just throwing them almost right directly into goal, just making it so difficult for us. These Brentford set pieces is what people think Arsenal set pieces are like. People think Arsenal set pieces are like this. His set pieces were something else. They were unbelievable. You got to give him so much credit for the way that they played Brentford as a team. But the set pieces, I have not been on the edge of my seat so worried more than when Brentford were taking set pieces. I mean, we played Barcelona. If we played Real Madrid recently. Brentford set pieces had me more worried than any moment versus Real Madrid over two legs. Brentford set pieces had me more worried than any moment versus Bayern Munich this season. Atletico Madrid, Brentford had me more worried. I don't know what it is about, but those Brentford set pieces are different, guys. They are different. And that guy by himself with his long throw capabilities, he is worth every penny for Brentford, man. He's worth every penny for Brentford. Brentford got themselves one hell of a player there, and he was cooking. He was cooking. I'm not gonna lie, there was some interviews and some press conferences that Arteta did yesterday. We're gonna look at that a little bit. But one other thing that we need to look at, we still are in a very comfortable position, even though Man City are 4 points behind us, and some of the head loss is a little bit overboard. If you look at this right here, we beat Wolves. They then have to go play Newcastle at home. But even then, we will still be ahead of them because their Crystal Palace fixture is going to be rescheduled. Whenever it's rescheduled, they're going to then have the same amount of games as us. For now, they're going to have a game in hand. Who will that benefit? I don't know. I think it will benefit Arsenal because we'll have the points on the board, hopefully. But if we were to drop the points, then it would benefit Man City. So we need to win so we don't have a situation where they have a game in hand where they're closer in points with us. Because right now, if we beat Wolves, then we will be 7 points ahead. If we drop points to Wolves and we get a draw, for God's sakes, it will be 5 points, and then Man City will be able to beat us, win their game in hand, and it's no longer in our hands. But if we beat Wolves and they somehow, whenever they play their game, even if they win that game versus Palace, it still comes down to playing us, and we'll still have that 1 point gap. If we do end up losing to them and they win their game versus Palace, say everything goes Man City's way and they win pretty much almost all their games and we win all our games and we just lose to them, we would still win the league. We would still win the league by a total of what? Right now, if it's a 7 point gap, they have a game in hand, it would turn it into a 4 point gap. If we were to lose to them, it would still mean that we would have a 1 point gap. There's going to be games where Man City is going to drop points. There's going to be games where Arsenal is going to drop points. I could see potentially the Chelsea game, the Spurs game, the Bournemouth game, and the Man City game being all banana skins. I think we can win the rest. Call me cocky, call me naive, call me whatever you want. I'm pretty confident we should be able to win a large majority of our home games. And the only games I'm really looking at is 4 very tough fixtures out of our remaining 12 games. On the other hand, you can look at their fixtures and you can say, you know what, maybe they have it a little bit easier than us. Even though Arsenal's in green, it should be in red. Arsenal should be in red. But Newcastle, Leeds, Forest, West Ham, Palace, I'm just going to assume that Man City is not going to slip up and we're going to just have to win our games. That's reality what it is. They're playing better than us right now. They're getting into form. We just need to remember who we are. Because to start the season, guys, this team had a level of confidence that was like nothing else. The confidence that this team had to start the season was something else. What happened to that confidence? What happened to the confidence that this team had to start the season? What happened to the way that we were playing? It seemed like it was inevitable that we would just win games earlier in the season. It did. And I don't know what you guys think, but to me, it seemed like there was a level of inevitability with our games. Like we were just going to go and win and win and win. And I did not see too many losses. I did not see us lose too many games. I did not think we were going to go and lose too many games because it just looked like we were going to find a way. It just looked like we were always finding a way. Now, after dropping points to Brentford, we need to also realize Brentford is not no shit team. We didn't lose points like when we dropped points to Nottingham Forest, that was bad. That was bad. Don't get me wrong, that was bad. But Nottingham Forest is not Brentford. Brentford is actually decent. Like, I know you don't want to hear this. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what the hell is this guy talking about? In the last 10 games, Brentford have more points than Man City. In the last 10 games, Brentford have more points than Man City. Look at that. This is perspective that people don't show you. They don't show you this side of the things. They don't show you this perspective. Brentford have more points than Manchester City and 1 point less than us in their last 10 games. Brentford are currently sitting where in the Premier League? Where are Brentford currently sitting in the Premier League? If I'm not mistaken, they're 7th. They're literally fighting for a European place. They're sneaky good at home too. If you look at Brentford's fixtures this season, they've been sneaky good at home. They're at home versus majority teams. They drew against Tottenham. They what do you call it? They obviously we beat them at our house. But when it comes to Chelsea coming to their ground, when it comes to Liverpool coming to their ground, they had some poor performances. Where is it? Where is it? I was looking at it earlier. Where is it? Why am I going back to last season? Okay, look. So they beat Liverpool this season. You guys remember that? They beat Liverpool. They drew against Chelsea. They beat Aston Villa. They started off the season with some very big wins, and then of course we beat them, and Man City just beat them by what was it, 1 goal at their ground. It's not like they're not no mugs. They're not. You can't just sit here and say Brentford are some shit team. But personally, for me, I thought we should have won the game going into it. When the game was actually played, we didn't play well enough to actually win it. We kind of got lucky to come out of there with the points. But yeah, Man City and Brentford. Where is it? There it is. 1-0. Man City win, and on another day that could have gone a different way. You look at it here, Brentford at home, they're a dangerous side. So fair play to them. Fair play to Brentford. You can call it copium, you can call it whatever you want, but I'm sitting here putting some respect on the name of the opponent, because I do think you got to give some respect to them. I do feel like at times or in general, Arsenal fans, we just kind of take it. We just kind of look at things from a perspective of we should beat everybody, and if we ever drop points, it's a disgrace. Maybe it's not. Maybe sometimes the opponent's just better than you on the night, and you got to just hold your hand up and say, you know what, it is what it is. Let's go to the next thing quickly. The next thing is this account here. If you guys haven't seen it, by the way, Rodri is charged for misconduct. I don't know if he's gonna get suspended. We'll have to wait and see. Pep Guardiola. Oh no, that's something else. So here is the remaining fixtures for Arsenal and Man City this season. Right? At this moment in time, Man City have a slight advantage, because you can see here against Liverpool, they won both their games. We lost and we drew one. Against Brentford, we drew one. Away from home, they won, and they're probably going to win at home. Where we have an advantage is Newcastle. We won away at Newcastle. They lost away at Newcastle. We still both have to play Newcastle in our home legs. So at this moment in time, Man City have a 1-point gap based on if they were to win all their empty gaps. So it's not going to give you too much confidence there. But one thing I will say is, shout out to this account. He does do all these things for the remainder of the season. And if you look here, the remainder of the season, if we go based on what we did last season, we should hopefully see a win versus majority of these teams. Based on last season's fixtures, we should see wins against most of these teams. But if we were to draw versus Man City, and we were to lose to Bournemouth, and we were to draw 2 more games, that would not be enough to win the league. I don't think that would not be enough to win the league. That would not be enough, because what would that be? 1 second. That would mean our 7-point gap hypothetically would that would not be good enough, because then 2 draws right away, that's 4 points. The Man City then has lead. If we were to lose that game and then draw again, we would lose. But last season we were poor. Hopefully we can get back to our form of 2023-24, where we went almost pretty much unbeaten until the end, and we only dropped points in a couple games. That would be ideal. But yeah, going back to this, this was the point that I want to show you. I'm going to leave with some optimistic perspective, because fuck it. What's the point of just getting down and wound up over football? We are very good at home, and basically the Etihad is our only remaining away game against our only remaining away games are against 13th in the table, 14th in the table, 16th in the table, and 18th in the table. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm pretty sure we have, so we got West Ham, Spurs, Brighton, and Palace. Yeah, outside of Man City, we don't have too many away games left. Wolves, West Ham, Spurs, Brighton, Palace. That is a positive. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that positive. honestly, it is kind of annoying, but you can only take it as whatever you can. Now, I have seen reports about something about Arteta. I have seen something about Arteta, but I don't think this is true. Do you think it's going to go down to the wire? I think it might. It might go down to the wire at this moment in time. I really do think it might go down to the wire. What's changed my mind is that Liverpool win for Man City was so big. Mikel Arteta views the Carabao Cup final as a defining moment for Arsenal this season. He believes losing the final could serve as damaging the squad and the mentality and fuel their Premier League challenge. He's prepared for key players in the match prior to the final. He is prepared to rest key players prior to the final. Wait, you're prepared to rest key players prior to the final? We don't play the final for a couple weeks. You're telling me when is he gonna rest these guys, and which games would he be resting them? I'm confused. Obviously, you're gonna rest players in the upcoming game versus Wigan. We don't play the EFL Cup final for a couple weeks now. If he was to rest players in the Premier League, no chance. No chance, bro. There's no chance you're telling me he's resting players versus Everton at home, Brighton away. Really? We have a whole week to prepare for the final. There wouldn't be a point to rest players when you have 7 days to prepare for the final. That makes no sense. This article has to be bullshit. This article has to be bullshit. You have friggin' we'll not rest players, man. Unless we're like, I don't know. Unless we're like multiple goals up in the Champions League. Unless we're multiple goals up in the Champions League in that point, because that's going to be the round of 16. That's going to be the time where we're going to play the round of 16 of the Champions League. So in between the Everton game and the final, we might be in the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 knockouts. And if that's the case, I don't think we're going to rest players. Let me just check. Let me just go Champions League, go to Champions League, go to knockouts. Does it tell you when these are going to be played? Round of 16 draw is on the 27th. When is it going to actually be played? Do we have scheduled dates for these games and when they're going to be played? 1 second. That's the draw and the actual round of 16 games. When is that going to be? So the draw is on the 27th. When are the actual round of 16 games going to be played? I'm pretty sure they're going to be played in between that time. So if that's the case, and we do have Champions League knockout games in that time period, why would we rest players in a round of 16 knockout round unless we're ahead by a big score? That's the only thing I could potentially see us resting multiple key players going into the next leg. But yeah, I do think sometimes the media bullshit. Sometimes the media stuff we see is bullshit, and we got to take it with a grain of salt. We can't take everything. We can't take everything as 100% truth. You got to be careful with some of the media stuff. I have been seeing some bullshit popping around about Arsenal. They're literally just making up stories now just to try to get traction. Like I seen something about Mikel Arteta and his future at the club is linked to us winning. Now, I do think there is a level of truth to that maybe, but I don't see it as so like black and white. Like I do think the board at Arsenal believe that Mikel Arteta has no excuses left. I do think that's true. I do think they believe Arsenal have no excuses left, but I don't think they would publicly ever say something like this. So this whole exclusive stuff is just somebody guessing. I think it's guesswork. I think it's bullshit. They honestly, sometimes people just come out with so much nonsense that you can't believe half the stuff that people are coming out with on social media, because 90% of this stuff it seems to me as bullshit. And I wouldn't take it serious. I wouldn't take it too serious, man. I wouldn't take it too serious. Forget about some of this bullshit that we're seeing online on a regular basis. It really annoys the life out of me. But yeah, what can you do? You can only take it with a grain of salt. Let's go to the next thing. You guys are saying I'm drained. Another click BS click farm post. 100%. 100%. They're always click farming and just posting a load of bullshit on a regular basis. Let's go through some news before we talk about Wigan. Obviously, it's Valentine's Day, so shout out to everybody and their partners. Nani Madueke, long way to go. Thank you, Jesus. He's shout out to him and being religious. Keep your head up. We stay strong. Shout out to you, Mikel Arteta. Said that it's a missed opportunity to extend the gap at the top of the table. That's ifs. We lose to Newcastle, we would be 8 points behind Liverpool in October. Lots of ifs over 10 months in the competition. So yeah, 100%. Mikel Arteta's right on that one. When speaking about Eze, this was a little club. So he spoke about the fact that I think we had a moment, and it's not easy. You move from a new club when you play against a team that's like this. The ball is a lot of times not on the floor, especially creative players, is more difficult. So yeah, I definitely do think this was a game where Mikel Moreno and Kai Havertz would have probably been better suited to play. And on the halftime substitution, this is why we went. This is why Brentford were pressing, and I think we needed another kind of generating more problems. And I think Odegaard came on really well, and the team had another gear and more threatening. And it was true. When Odegaard came in, the team was more threatening and looked a lot better. He also speaks about Martinelli's chances to score. I do think it's not good constantly calling out Martinelli as a manager, but Martinelli, that is a tougher chance than you first think. He should be able to chip the keeper or do something, but you only have a split second to think. And looking back at it, you could also say Declan Rice made a similar mistake when he passed the ball to Gyökeres. Instead, he should have just shot it. But yeah, he never brought up Declan Rice's chance. And why are we only thinking about one or two chances at the end of the game? We should have a list of opportunities where where if we don't score from one, we should score from another. Empty your mind, PTSD threat. That's definitely about Arsenal. Declan Rice said it perfectly. If you can win a game, if you can't win a game, don't lose. I know people are going to always say, oh, you got to go for the win, you got to go for a win. But of course, if you can't win the game, you also cannot drop points. So still 4 points clear at the top. We're still looking forward. It's been a roller coaster of a season, and that's 100% true. But if you think you're going to, it's going to be an easy title, they're naive. 100%. Tell the fans it's not going to be easy. Get used to it. It's been a roller coaster of a season. We were 5 points behind Liverpool. We came roaring back. Now we're 15 points ahead of them. Man City were however many points behind us. They're now 4 points behind us. A couple weeks behind that, they were 2 points behind us. It's constantly going to go up and down. Relax, right? And yes, Arsenal's lead was cut. It was cut, but it's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. There's no need. You pick yourself up. You pick yourself back up, because we still got a lot to work to do. And we're going to talk about Wigan right now. But before we go on to Wigan, I just have one more thing to say. Can we just, as a fan base, come together and just back the team for the rest of the season? If you, because after every drop point, if you're just going to call these guys bottle jobs and make crazy remarks, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right? And everybody's uniting against us. Everybody hates us. Everybody hates us. It's fine that people hate us. It's part of our history. That's what George Graham said. It's part of our history. So I'm not necessarily going to sit here and just say, why do they hate us? I don't care if they hate us or if they like us. Barcelona lost in the same day as us, and you had multiple accounts from teams that even support La Liga ignore Barcelona and just speak about Arsenal. We're literally the main character of football right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. If you look on anywhere on social media, you can't go 2 posts. You can't get past 2 posts without seeing something about Arsenal. Even if you don't support Arsenal or Premier League fan, you're going to come across something related to Arsenal on social media right now. We're just all over it. But yeah, perspective's needed, man. Until you see a situation where Man City are actually mathematically capable to have the game and control in their hands, there's no need to sit here and be too overly worried. There's no point. Just relax. And yeah, shout out to the person with the super chat, Netweed. If we drop any more points in the next 5 games, it's over. What's the point of having that mentality? What if Man City drop points? Ifs and ifs. Every time there's an if, it's okay when it's if we negative, but if positive wise is never allowed. We can never talk about the positive scenarios. Netweed, why is it always if negative? If negative. Just focus on the next game. Forget about ifs, ands, and buts. That's the reality of the situation. Forget about all these ifs, ands, and buts. Focus on the next game. And the next game is versus Wigan. The next game is versus Wigan. Wigan right now, Arsenal's going to be facing them in the fourth. The fourth round. The fourth round of the FA Cup. FA Cup, which we've won the most times in English football history. We're going to play. I don't think we're going to play a team this strong. I'm going to talk about the team we're going to play. But Wigan right now, where are they and what's going on with Wigan? Wigan have lost 4 out of their last 5 games to what is that? Reading. What team is that? Peterborough United. They lost to Peterborough United. They lost to Lincoln City. And they lost to Wickham. That's Wickham. And they lost to Doncaster Rovers, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. Or they drew against Doncaster Rovers. So a team that has dropped points in their last 5 games in their league that is currently sitting where they at 22nd in League One. This could get ugly for them. And we're at the Emirates, guys. We should slap them. Honestly, what's your score predictions for this game, guys? Let me know right now. What's your score predictions? What are you guys saying? Score predictions for this game. Give me your score predictions right now, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of the Arsenal fans are still sad and disappointed about the game versus Brentford, but we need to get ourselves up. We have a Arsenal fans always speak about mentality. The mentality that we're gonna just lose and we're gonna drop off from here is just counterproductive. Like, what the hell? We're acting like pussies, really. That's what it is. Everyone's out here talking about, oh, it's done from here. Do you not forget that? What do you call it? We still have 4 competitions to be in. It's not just one. So don't get yourselves all down and out about it. Don't. Anyways, let's go. Let's continue. What are we saying, guys? I'm gonna read through some of your comments in a second. I'm just giving you guys a second to catch up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Personally, for me, I'm looking at this game versus Wigan. I don't know. It's not going to be no 1-0, 2-0. I'm expecting at least, realistically, 4-0. 4-0 Arsenal victory. Let me know. 2-1 Wigan. You're a hater. 8-0. 2-1. 5-0 for Wigan. You're an idiot. 3-1 Arsenal. 5-1 Arsenal. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0. And the team that I'm going to actually go for this game, Kepa Arrizabalaga is going to be in goal. I don't think that's the debate there. Ben White is going to come back into the team. He could have played. You actually go with Mosquera, give Saliba another day rest, and then you go Hincapié in the centre back position, and then you go Miles Lewis-Skelly because he hasn't got much game time recently. You throw him. You could even put him in the midfield. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you go Calafiori. In the left back position. Then in the other center mid position, the defensive mid, you put in Christian Norgard. In the attacking mid position, Eze needs to gain some confidence. Throw him in there. Saka just came off an injury. Get him some more match minutes to get him ready. You play him 45 minutes. You bring on Nani second half. On the other hand, you throw in Martinelli. He loves the cups. Throw in Martinelli, and you throw Gabriel Jesus up front. And I think this is the best team that we're going to go with. And I think this is the team that we're going to go with. And that's my logic. You rest both Saliba, Saka, Timber, Mazur, Skelly, throw him in midfield, give him some game time in midfield. And of course, Norgard starts a game. Jesus starts up top. Martinelli on one side. Saka gets about 45 to 60 minutes. And then you bring on Nani Madueke to end the game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that team. Would you guys make any changes to that team? Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree or agree with that team, or if you make any changes. Iga have Madrid mentality, Madrid fan mentality. If I had Madrid fan mentality, people would say you'd want the manager sacked, because Madrid sack their managers every 2 weeks. No, I'm joking. Shout out to you, Iga. I'm keeping. I'll keep calling out the fan base. Back the team. Just back the team, regardless how we are playing. 3 points is the objective. 3 points is the objective, yes. And I don't think the negativity is. I don't think the negativity is going to help the team at all. You can clearly say if Arteta doesn't win the league, he should be sacked? ? But what benefit does that have, having this conversation right now? If that happens, we'll talk about it. Right now, I want to focus on what is actually going on. Too much Arsenal haters included in our own fan base. 110%. Too many Arsenal haters within our own fan base that don't want to have real objective conversations. Now, with that being said, I'm going to now show you guys, with that lineup being the lineup versus Wigan, now the lineup versus Wolves is going to be different. You're going to have Odegaard back in the team. You're going to have Trossard back in the team. If Saka's fit and ready to go, you're going to start Saka. And if Saliba's fit and ready to go, you're going to start Saliba. Instead of Hincapie, you're going to start Calafiori. And instead of Timber, you're going to give Ben White more of a chance. This is the team I want to see versus Wolves if Saliba is fit. If Saliba is not fit, you don't want to risk him. You throw in Mascara again. Simple. That is the team I'm going with. That is the team that I think we should go with. And I think that's most likely what's going to happen. So it's not a bad idea at all. Right? 1 second. Let me just go through some of these before we go, because I got a couple more minutes before I have to get back to what I was doing. Where is something? Gee, this is a Man City fan. One second. I seen something from Sky about last 12 games. Where is it? Something about Man City's last 12 games and Arsenal's last 12 games. Where is it? Last 12 games. Anyways, let me see if you guys have anything. Iga, you pushed so much hate on City, but you come here crying when people hate about Arsenal. What do I say that? What hate do I push on Man City? What are you talking about? Give me examples. I'm so confused. Give me examples. I'm actually one of the people who doesn't sit here and just talk about 115 24/7 or criticize your owners, because I'm not one of those people. I think they play us. Yeah, they do play us. Egal, don't think it's a little embarrassing for the club as big as Arsenal that you've not won a UCL. We can't control what that one of our best chances to actually win the Champions League. Unfortunately, we were not English clubs were not in it because of the incident involving Liverpool. So I'm not blaming anybody, but if you know your history, Arsenal's best chances of winning the UCL, either we actually we didn't win it in the final, or we were losing. We were not equipped to play in Europe them times. I think we have better chance now to win in Europe than most because we're so. I think we're better suited now to cup competitions because we're so physically dominant. We're so much stronger physically. Where in the past we were not as strong and we couldn't control games as much. But the main reason why I don't think we have a Champions League is because of the period in which English teams were out of the Champions League was what when we started to regain some dominance across in football. If you guys can remind me, what years was it that English teams were out of the European competitions? Was it the late 80s? What years was it exactly? What years were the years that English teams were banned from Europe was between 85, 86 to 89, 89, 90. You're telling me if the Arsenal team that was that won the league in 89 or the Arsenal team that was good enough to compete around that time couldn't have actually gotten a European trophy? Let's be real. You're telling me we couldn't have won something? We couldn't have gotten a European trophy at that time? If I'm not mistaken, that was around the time where Liverpool was dominant across English game, and they were winning things on a regular basis over in Europe. How many times did they win around that time? So Liverpool won the Champions League in 83, 84, right? Liverpool won the Champions League 1980 and 1981, right? After they won it in that time period, unfortunately, English teams were banned from 80 for that 5-year period. In that 5-year period, Arsenal was one of the better teams that time. We potentially could have won it around that time, but hey, it is what it is. What can you do? What can you do? You played 3 DMs, half those games, cowardice tactics. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish we had Mikael Moreno available right now. You call him a DM, call him whatever you want. That guy scores crucial goals, and he is a physical beast. For Spain, he plays as their striker. For Arsenal, he's played as a striker. I don't know how you can call him a defensive midfielder when the guy is literally filling in as a striker. But hey, whatever agenda people want to run with, guys, keep bringing it. Keep bringing it. I feel like it's very easy whenever you got a Cup Winners' Cup, didn't you? If I'm not mistaken, we got the Cup Winners' Cup in the beginning of the 90s. No, when did we get the Cup Winners' Cup? 1991 or 1990? 1 second. 1 second. I'm not an encyclopedia for Arsenal knowledge, like some of the old farts on YouTube that keep coming for me. They know all these things off the top of their head because they were probably alive around that time. But when did we win it exactly? 1 second. What year was it? Cup Winners' Cup. 93, 94. We won the Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah, so yeah, we won Cup Winners' Cup 93, 94, and I was 2 years old. So there you go. 94, actually. The final was in May of 94. We were obviously Palmer. If I'm not mistaken, was that the one? Who scored in that game? Was it Alan Smith? Alan Smith, yeah. Alan Smith scored in that game. That's the one. So yeah, that is 1994. So we could have definitely been a more dominant team in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. We could have maybe won some European trophies around that time, but it is unfortunate. What can you really do? Everyone's going to constantly banter us for that and do so. But I do think a lot of the hate around Arsenal is kind of forced. People hate on Arsenal mostly because of the fans, but I don't think we're any worse than other fans. Like I seen a video today of a Tottenham fan saying that they think they're bigger than Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea. Like you guys got to see this. Check this out. Check this out. Where is it? Check this out. You got a Tottenham fan saying they're bigger than
Yes.
Arsenal.
Newcastle.
Yes.
Arsenal.
I mean, we've won a European trophy more recently than them, so I'm going to say yes.
He thinks he's bigger than
Yes.
Arsenal.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
You're not bigger than
No, we
Forest.
are not bigger than
He
Chelsea.
says they're not
Manchester
bigger than
City.
Chelsea,
We're
but
older
they're
than
bigger than
Manchester
City.
City. Perhaps not a bigger club.
When
Liverpool.
City have more
I'm going to
trophies,
say
they're
right
bigger
now
than Liverpool.
we're bigger than
apparently.
Liverpool based on the European trophy recently.
Manchester United.
We beat them in the Europa League final last season. As far as I'm concerned, that's all that counts.
This to me is just an example of every fan base has fans like this who are delusional, who are silly, who make stupid comments on a regular basis. And people might say I'm one of those fans for Arsenal, even though you probably don't watch 90% of my content. When it comes down to it, every fan base has people like this. It's just because Arsenal has AFTV and AFTV is a large voice in the social media space, people really just take a lot of that stuff. People just really take that stuff out of thing. People really just take that stuff and make it seem like it's worse than it is. Every fan base is silly. And don't listen to half of the stuff that people say. 1 second they're telling you Arsenal dropping points, you've bottled it. Arsenal lose a game, you've bottled it. Arsenal win a game, you play boring anti-football, and you're the worst champions ever. Arsenal win a game, the league is over. The league is done. Man City, that's it. That's it now. It's done. Shut up. They're every time we win a game, it's one thing. Every time we drop points, it's another thing. And the reality is, stay level-headed. Don't lose your goddamn heads and calm the fuck down. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you guys here. Love you and leave you. I really do appreciate all the love and support on the channel lately. And please do hit that like button, guys. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. You already know what it is. Eagle Talks Football. I'm out of here, people. Peace. Enjoy your Valentine's days. I'll be back for a full match reaction tomorrow and Monday. I'm gonna bring everybody. I'm gonna have a Royal Rumble on the show on Monday. Monday, 7:30. I'm gonna have a Royal Rumble, and I'm gonna tell you guys. I got Saad coming. I got Brandon coming. I got Ashraf coming. I got a bunch of other people coming. Deo, Nigerian Englishman. I'm gonna get all these guys coming. Maybe even ask Kenny Ken to join. It's gonna be hectic. Guys, this is what we need. We need to come together as a fan base and have a moment where we just sit there and conversation. And you know something? Arsenal not having a UCL is no stick to beat us with. We know the truth. We know the truth. You guys don't like us. We don't care. Everybody in the city, everyone wants to suck off Man City and lose so Man City can win the league. So be it. Come the end of the season, if we win, I'll be happy. Get Kenny so you can have. What is this guy talking about? Get Kenny so you can be disrespectful to him. I'm never disrespectful to Kenny. Kenny's a nice guy, man. He's actually calm. You can actually have a conversation with him, unlike some people. But yeah, if you don't like my content, you don't have to be here. You don't have to watch. If you don't like me as a person and you think I have no ball knowledge and I'm an idiot, you don't have to watch. That's it. I'm not forcing you to watch. So I don't get why you're coming on here talking shit. You never admit when you're wrong. You were wrong about Saka playing last season. He was injured and now he's awful. Stop it. There's two things. Number one, Saka might be underperforming right now because he has a new injury. Has nothing to do with the previous injury. And number two, when it comes to saying I'm wrong, I always admit when I'm wrong. This has nothing to do with being wrong or right. This is just a player underperforming. Who's right and who's wrong? Why are we always doing this thing where we're trying to say, oh, Lee Gunner's right or this guy's right? How many times Lee Gunner said some ridiculous takes that nobody holds him accountable for? I'm not sitting here saying Saka's finished as a footballer. He was sitting here saying he's finished. We're not going to see the best Saka ever again. And I think that's wrong. Also, to sit here and say it was wrong to play him last season is ridiculous also, because he's one of the main reasons why we beat Real Madrid. He was one of the main reasons why we even scored versus PSG, and we wouldn't have even gotten further in the Champions League if it wasn't for him in the first place. So that is a stupid take also. The main take that they're saying, admit that you're wrong to, is that Arsenal is... Nah, mate, that's stupid. That's stupid. If you sat here and actually said something that I said that was wrong, Like, for example, when I mistaken Bristol City and Birmingham City, that's wrong. I made a mistake. People make mistakes all the time. How many times have you ever said, I'm trying to think of two names that are close. How many times have you ever mixed up? I can't think of two names right now. But just mix up names all the time. Also, I seen somebody on Dan's channel saying Egal doesn't know the difference between Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Paulista. Who the fuck said these things? Where did these things come from? Another thing that somebody made a lie about me, just trying to make me look bad. Also, I really couldn't care less. 90% of these guys, I don't give them airtime because I don't have time for people. I try to have conversations about football. These guys try to have conversations about personal attacks about individuals. And you know something? I don't have respect for 90% of these people. I don't care if they're older than me. Who has respect for somebody just because they're older if they don't show respect for you in the first place? You have to earn a level of respect. I'll have respect for people who are respectful themselves. If you're disrespectful and you're an idiot, no one has time for that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. You already know what it is. It's always the people yelling and screaming and shouting. And you know something? You know how you know some of these guys are pussies? Is because they pick and choose their battles. Because they know certain people have different energy for them. It's easy for you to come for me because I'm not going to go out of my way to do a whole video on you and talk shit about you. But when somebody does a whole video on you and talk shit about you, you don't want to talk about it no more. You're going to ignore them. You're going to ignore their discussion, but then you're going to make it personal with me. I see you. I see people. I see right through people. They're pussies. They're scared of having real conversations when somebody comes with them with a real conversation. But when it's me, oh, it's easy. Let's rattle Egal. Let's talk about Egal. I see. Anyways, no, the reason why I brought it up is because you brought it up. But hey, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Have yourself a wonderful day, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love, and you already know what it is. Peace.